And a little different setup today. So this is for the 1111 portal, and it is a message from the ancestors through this divine portal space. And what I'm hearing is that they are ready to connect more than ever, and they are excited that you've found your way to this video. And if you want to reach out and connect with them deeper, check the description below, and I will give you the information on where to connect to go deeper and connect with your ancestors. But let's go ahead and get right into it. Today we have 4 pick a card piles. I have not looked at any of these cards. All I did was shuffle and pull the cards. So everything is completely random. I have no idea what's going to come up. We're just going to intuitively connect and see what wants to come through from the ancestors for this 1111 portal. So a little bit different today. If you're used to my previous videos, we have the north pile, east, south, and west. So go ahead and pick your pile. And take some time with this pick, the ancestors are telling me, because there are very direct messages that are going to be coming through. So I'm going to do just a little energetic clearing for those that are open so that you can relax and make a better decision in choosing which pile to go with. So go ahead, and if you're open to receive, go ahead and close down your eyes. So just a very grounded, very earthy energy, and some really important messages coming through today. So go ahead and pick your pile, north, east, south, and west. We will start with the north pile. All right, aloha to those of you who chose the north pile. We're going to leave this card for last, they're saying. And I just want to open up for any messages from the ancestors that want to come through before we get into the card readings. If there's anything that wants to come through at this time, I'm open and ready to channel. Yara fatumana uso nuna na kanayana titanayana nishnikanana. Yara patana ashnana kanana yanana na fatumana. Yara patatistik tinganana yanana hititiyanana. Yes, so some very deep, soulful energy coming through with this pile. And obviously some galactic energy with that channeled light language. So let's go ahead and get right into these cards and see what is coming through for you. Grounding. Yes, I see why they wanted us to ground. And what they're saying is that, okay, this is what they're showing me here, is that this is what's happening with the ascension right now. Is there's a lot of this kundalini activation energy that's happening. It's like these serpents moving through the energy centers of the spine. And their message for you is that this 1111 portal, because there are going to be some really deep soul shifts that come through with it, and this is going to happen. The portal is already open, but it's going to happen for at least 4 to 5 days after seeing this message. They're saying they're going to continue to work with you. So your job during that time, I guess I don't like saying job, but what they're requesting of you during that time is that you stay very grounded and present in your body. It's going to be easy with these energies that are coming through. It's going to be easy to want to be high and to get into like really high vibrations where you may even feel like a little floaty or dizzy or just ungrounded. And also they're reminding me that ungrounded a lot of times for people will mean that they're in their heads, that they have thoughts and memories and so much going on in their brains that they can't really focus on the things that they need to get done. So it is super important for those of you who chose the North Pile to make sure that you are staying grounded within the next 4 to 5 days after seeing this message. So get out, connect with nature, hug a tree. If you've never done it before, it is the most grounding experience. Put your hands in some soil. Like they really want you to, if you can, like lay out in some grass. I know that the weather isn't great all around right now, depending on where you're watching this from. So if you can't get out, maybe resoiling the plants in your home or eating like some really grounding, nourishing root vegetables. But your request, the request that they have for you is really to truly stay grounded through this process, because a lot is coming through. So let's go ahead and move on. The next one we have is shark. And all right, so they're saying this, and I felt this when I opened up this pile, is this pile is going through a soul shift. This is lifetimes of karma that you've been clearing, lifetimes of generational trauma that you've reincarnated in the same family over and over again so that you could process through all of this. And it is finally coming to a close. Everything is moving to a much higher vibration. So they're wanting you to just be still. So the image they're giving me with the sharks is like, imagine you're in the water and there were sharks all around you, just swimming all around you. And they just want you to be very, very still and very present in this moment. Thank you. Because there are a lot of earthbound spirits that are hovering around right now. And because this is such a huge soul cycle shift for you, they will do whatever they can to get in your headspace and to keep you down and to keep you in a lower vibration so that they can attach to you. So there's nothing to be in fear about. I want to make that very clear. Your ancestors are saying that they are here protecting you and guiding you, but they're wanting you to find stillness and quiet this week. So maybe more peaceful, staying inside, not going around large crowds. If you're used to going to a weekly event, maybe skipping that this week, but really finding some stillness and some grounding. All right, so the pink dolphin. So yeah, this energy that's coming through is you have worked for lifetimes. Your soul has worked for lifetimes to be able to fulfill what is coming to you. There's this mission that you've come into Earth over and over again trying to learn and succeed in it. And every time there's been a lot of energy in the lineage that has held you back. And this time is like, this pile, y'all are cycle breakers. You have probably been through a lot in this lifetime, and you're breaking cycles and breaking free. And they're pointing out just this beautiful rainbow that's down here, and how she is so divinely connected. There's this big light that's coming in and glowing in her crown space. So connected to a higher power. There are going to be things to celebrate with this 1111 portal. It is bringing celebration and joy. And it's because you've gotten to a place where you have fully opened your heart, completely let go, and forgiven the lineage for whatever it was that your ancestry has been growing through for generations. Uh, yeah, and so after this 1111 portal, when after the 4 to 5 days when all of this energy is heightened, there's gonna be, like, I just hear bundles of joy. There are going to be bundles of joy coming to your life, and it's gonna be a space of just comfort and peace. And they're really highlighting for me the fire here, because if you've ever sat and fire gazed, what it does is it lowers your brain waves and it gets you into an alpha state where you're just relaxed and calm and at peace. So perhaps some fire gazing might even be good for you to ground with this energy. Yeah, and it's just a full release. You finally have come to a place where you are completely setting yourself free of all of this generational, I'm hearing generational karma. It's karmic. So there's something that happened with this lineage. So is this relevant for okay, let me rephrase that. My apologies. Can we tell them how far back in the lineage this is being clear? Yeah, this is for someone who has been working or who recently found out that they are clearing 10 plus generations. So all the way back to the 10th generation before you, all the way back to the 11th generation before you, the 12th, and even the 13th, they're telling me. So from 10 to 13 generations back, this is a completely brand new you, breaking free of everything that, and I'm getting this energy of like, oh, there's just these tears of joy that are coming through, and your ancestors are so grateful. There is, like my heart has just completely softened into this reading, and they're just saying they knew, okay, so I'm channeling from the ancestors now. They're saying they knew that you were the one. They knew that you would be the one to break this cycle, and you have tried for a couple of lifetimes now, and this is finally the lifetime where the cycle has been broken. And all of these, and a lot of these earthbound spirits, a lot of your ancestors were earthbound. So this is probably an ancestry that came with a lot of can we be specific? Spirit, can you tell me, ancestors, thank you, will you tell me if is this drug, okay, this is drug addiction, manipulation, and abandonment. Whew, yeah. So lifetimes, 10 to 13 generations of drug addiction, manipulation, and abandonment. Those are huge cycles. So no wonder where the energy feels very almost uneasy, very heightened, very anxious. And that's why they're wanting you to be in stillness and to ground while the rest of this gets out. It's like you're at that very last moment, and this portal is pushing through. And from this push, it's like you are birthing a whole new life, a whole new you. Whew, okay, so we got 3 more cards left here. Yeah. And okay, so they're telling me that there's some coding in this. So if you want to screenshot this and just sit with it. There's just these beautiful codes that are coming through this card, and they said don't look at the word. So belief is not what they're trying to bring through. It's thank you. It's self-forgiveness and love. And so these are gifts. Thank you for being direct. These are gifts that are going to be coming through to you. So you've worked really hard on forgiving others, on letting go, on understanding that this journey was something that you chose. And because of that, you have these beautiful gifts that are going to be coming online for you. And I feel like it's creativity. So maybe you've been having a creative blockage and you haven't been able to really get into the joy and the playfulness of creating. And these are the gifts that your ancestors are giving. This is where the shift is happening. So you will be, after these 4 to 5 days, probably feeling very creative and wanting to look into new things, new hobbies, new art interests. I'm hearing a lot of music, so perhaps playing with music or making music. There's something to do with that. And then just this, it's a very playful energy. Like I'm getting like almost like creating or developing something that people are going to get a lot of joy and play from. So I don't know, like the kind of things that they're bringing forward is like creating a board game or creating an event that, you know, everyone comes and plays. And maybe it's like some kind of tournament, like sporting tournament or something. But there's something that you're going to be creating that is going to bring people together in joy and happiness. And they want you to surrender your worry as you're growing through this. So the energy that they're giving me, it's like this, you're birthing a whole brand new you. And so think of a baby being birthed, and when they're coming through the portal of the mother, it's a very restricting space. And so they have to really kind of open and close. It reminds me of, I think they're called hydrangeas, the flowers that as they're blossoming, they're opening and closing and opening and closing until they finally fully open up and birth this new beautiful blossoming of their petals. All right, and then the last thing here is throat chakra, and they want me to just do a little activation for the throat. So if you are open and willing to receive, go ahead and just close down your eyes. Wow, so I just got this image of, if you're familiar with The Little Mermaid, totally not into Disney anymore, but I was as a child. And The Little Mermaid, there's this scene at the end where the shell breaks and she gets her voice back and it comes back to her, and it's all of this beautiful, abundant energy that it gives her the power to speak and be her true self. And that's the energy of the whole brand new you. So lots of good energy. Let's see what they have here. So And they said, go ahead and flip it. Yeah, let go. Let go of the old life. Let go of the old you. There's a beautiful blossoming that's happening. And you're ready. You're ready to spread your wings and fly and not be attached to all of this ancestry healing that you've been doing for a long, long while now. So, all right, that is your message for the pile, North Pile. Hope you all have a wonderful 1111 portal. Don't forget to ground, to be present. And I'm excited for you to open up to your creativity. All right, thank you. Aloha, those of you who chose the pile on the east. They want me to go ahead and flip this over right away this time. So I feel like there's maybe an answer that you've been questioning, something that you've had in your mind. I'm getting that this is like a big shift for you, a big move, either literally like moving to another state or another country, or moving job positions, moving into a new career. There's just this really big move that's coming for you, and you've been in this energy of like, is it gonna happen, or should it not should it, thank you, can you redirect me please? The words, forgive me, the words are having a hard time coming through right now. There's this energy of like, is this gonna happen? There we go. Is this gonna happen? And the answer is yes, absolutely it is. Everything is divine, and they're pointing out the new moon. So can you confirm, am I connected with the ancestors or spirit guides right now? Spirit guides, thank you. And are you confirming that it'll be around a new moon that this shift will happen? Yes, around a new moon. So I typically don't like to play with time in these readings because time is non-linear and it can be all over the place, but for some reason they are wanting me to connect that for you. So whatever that means for you. And let's go ahead, and they want to get right into it. So is this the pile? This was, as I was pulling the piles, there was a pile where the cards just kept coming out just for this pile. It was like the ancestors. Okay, this is an urgent message. Thank you. That's why they kept jumping out so quickly. And it was every oracle deck that I picked up to pull from, this deck was the one that dropped out first. And so this is an urgent message. Okay, they're telling me that you are in a space where you have been ready to give up, where you feel like everything, it's just too much. I'm feeling so much weight on my shoulders right now. I'm going to go ahead and do just a little clearing for you. So if you're open and would like to receive, just go ahead and close down your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in for me through the nose. Fill up the belly and into the chest. And then open mouth, exhale. Let something go. We're going to do that one more time. Deep inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. And they want me to tell you to shake your shoulders. So shrug your shoulders, shake your shoulders. There's some energy there that needs to be loosened up. And so as you do that, I'm going to go ahead and tap in and do a little energy work. And ooh, yes. So now the energy has settled down into the hips. So just rock side to side, move some of that energy around. You can roll your hips. I'm just feeling like there needs to be more movement. And okay, thank you. And they are saying yes, movement. If you want to get out of the energy that you're in, I feel like this is a it's not it's just more dense than that typically comes through these readings, or through my readings lately anyhow. It's just uncertainty, like fear, being uncertain, being worried, being caught up in like they're telling me like the hustle and bustle. So maybe things are just moving really fast for you, and it seems like a whirlwind right now, and you're not able to fully ground. That explains why they wanted me to ground during the intro. But let's go ahead and see what other urgent messages want to come through for you today. So, the wild feminine. Yeah, I'm getting that there's this energy is like a very lone wolf energy. It's like you've been on a healing journey, and you've been processing through a lot, and although you feel and know that there are people around you that love you and care for you and will be there for you, I'm getting like choked up as I'm saying this. There is an energy, oh, okay, thank you. There's an energy of grief that's coming. It's really rising through your lungs. So you've probably been having a hard time breathing deeply, or like getting short of breath really quickly. Like if you're, you go for a walk and you're getting short of breath a lot sooner than you normally would have. It's because there's this grief coming up, and the grief is coming from the energy of loneliness. It's this like, is anything ever gonna change? I don't want to do this alone anymore. I've done it alone. I can do it alone. I enjoy being alone, but I just want someone to be there, to be my person, to spend time with me, to just exchange text messages with, or phone calls, or be in person, or hold hands, or whatever it is. Like there's just this and as I'm saying this, there's this surrender that's coming in. So you've probably had some shoulder issues, because the grief you've been through so much grief in this lifetime. So I'm sending you guys so much love, because if you chose this East pile, you have been through a lot of grief in this lifetime, and because of it, it has filled up. Grief usually settles into our lungs, and it's settled into your lungs, and it's built up and built up and built up and built up, and it just continues to build up, and now it's affecting into your shoulders and starting to move throughout your body. So we want to contain this energy. We want you to they're pointing out the number 2. It's like you've been waiting so long for some kind of soulmate or union, or a partner, or just someone that you can connect with, and like be playful and have fun with. And it's like you have that with people in your life, but you want your person. You want someone you want more. And this is not necessarily though they're telling me, these are your ancestors speaking, they're telling me that this is not necessarily a love interest. It could just be like a companion. It could be just someone, or like even an animal coming into your life that you have companionship with and you can open up to, and you can be the real you and not worry about what people are going to think about you or how they're going to treat you, or if they're going to feel sorry for you because of all the grief that you've been through. Like, you've been through all of that and you're just ready to move above and beyond. But you're in this, the reason this message is urgent is because you're in this energy of feeling like it's not going to happen. Like, I've been waiting all this time, and like, there's this cycle that's coming up with this 1111 portal. So in the next few days, and they're telling me 2 to 3 days for this pile, 2 to 3 days from seeing this, you may be experiencing some really dense energies. You may be feeling a lot of, like I said, like a hard time breathing, a lot of weight on your shoulders. And they're here to guide you through this because they want you to know you're not alone. You are not alone. And there are people that love you. And there is, can I confirm this, please? Yes, there is a companion coming into your life. However, you are in a position where you can surrender and be patient and wait for this companion to come into your life, or you can continue to try to control it and make it happen in your own time. And in that case, it will end up taking longer. They want me to repeat that. If you try to control this, if you try to make it happen faster, it will absolutely take longer. So please, please work on your patience, work on trust and surrender, and knowing that what's meant for you will not pass you by, and you absolutely have a companion coming into your life. But you've got to get through this loneliness. Like, what you're breaking right now is loneliness. You're breaking this cycle of loneliness, and this cycle is through the ancestry. And once you get through this cycle, you're never going to be lonely again. You're never going to be lonely again. Like, this is confirmed. They're saying you've carried this grief and these cycles for the entire ancestry. That's why it's so much. That's why you've been through so much grief in this lifetime. So let's go ahead and see what the next card is. Hyena. Yeah. So fear. And it's this, like, you see like this black and white or this like full color image. And, over here is like the death and the rebirth. And it's this cycle that we grow through in our lifetime. We go through death and then we rebirth ourselves. And so we're constantly in this cycle, in this spiral. And for you, they're saying you now have an option to get out of this cycle of loneliness, of self-sabotage, of feeling like you'll never have a companion. But you have to make that choice. You have to make that choice to be patient, to trust, to surrender, to know that there is a higher power that is working for you. Your ancestors are holding space for you so that you can shift through this, because what you're shifting has gone pretty deep in your ancestry. Can we get how far back? Okay, so I'm getting a few different ones. For some of you, it's going back 3 generations. For others, I'm hearing 5. And there's one that goes all the way back to 6 generations. So what you're clearing, this fear of being alone, this fear of never having a companion, of just being lonely your entire life. And they're saying you're shifting out of that, but you have to trust in the process. All right, so stagnant waters. Oh yeah, you've been feeling like this stuck, like, when are things gonna shift? I'm just waiting. I'm trying to surrender. I'm trying to trust, and I'm doing my best to stay grounded. And there's this space, and I used to call it the void. And I had a good friend who shifted that for me, helped me shift it. And she said, it's not the void, it's the point of creation. It is where you can create your next present moment. You have the power in that. But for you to be able to create that next present moment, to bring in a companion, to, live in flow and trust and surrender, there has to be this evolution process. And so there's got to be this letting go. For you, breathwork is going to be very, very important for you during this portal. So 2 to 3 days after seeing this message, I would look up breathwork. If you can do an in-person breathwork session, that would be fantastic. It'll move a lot of energy for you. But if it's not possible to do that, there are a lot of breathwork practitioners on YouTube, and you can pull something up and do it in the comfort of your home. Time and discipline. So it's like I feel like, she's been waiting. It's like, I'm waiting. I know it's here. I see it. I see the shift. It's like you can feel it. It's so close, almost like you can taste it. But it's just like these clocks keep ticking, and then like they get set back. How funny. We just set back the time in the northern okay, they said redirect that, but anyway, it's irrelevant. Time did change, and so they're saying like right now you feel like every time you get close, something shifts, the timeline shifts, and you go all the way back. But what they're saying is that, and this is your ancestors, they're saying that you're not going all the way back to the beginning, but it's like you take 2 steps forward and 3 steps back, and then 2 steps forward and 3 steps back, and then maybe 3 steps forward and 5 steps back. And when you get to those, like, you're consistently moving forward. You're getting closer and closer and closer to this. Like, they're showing just this bright, shining abundance where time is irrelevant. There's just these beautiful, like, golden keys coming in. Everything is getting unlocked. There's a heart here. 41 reduces to a 5, which brings in great change. And you have to be disciplined in allowing it to happen in divine timing. Quit trying to control it. Quit trying to be in charge of when and when it's going to happen, because time is non-linear, and especially right now we're jumping timelines so much. So you've got to let go of that energy if you want to move forward. Okay, and they're saying seek wisdom. So the mudra they're pointing out to me, this mudra that she's making with her hands, is the abundance mudra. It's the lotus flower, and it's opening up. It's like the lotus that has grown through all of the darkness and the yuck and the swamp, and it's ready. So she's like surrounded, underneath all of this. I mean, they're beautiful flowers, but in reality, it's like she's buried right now, but her hands are above it all, and she's lifting up to the sky, and she's saying, I'm here. This is me. So continue to put your light out. Continue to open yourself up, to shine your light, to be in your power, and know that it's all going to happen when you release control. It's like she's completely letting go and just giving it to the universe, right? Giving it to the sky, giving it to the God, whatever it is that you connect to in a higher power, your highest self, just giving it up and saying, okay, I'm done. I'm no longer going to try to control this. It is in God's time, in the divine time, in the time of, source energy or the universe or whatever it is that you say. And that is when things are going to shift rapidly. Yeah. So remember who you are. right? You are not meant to come to this earth space and be alone. That's not your journey. Yes, you've been through a lot of grief and you've had to process through a lot, but it's because you were clearing the grief of the ancestry. Like this wasn't just your grief. You know, your ancestors went through this grief as well. And I'm just getting choked up again. It's very much in my throat. Excuse me. Yeah, so whew, okay. Definitely, if you really want to push through this, like if you really want to blossom and open up and have, you know, what's come to you. Like, so the image they're giving me is like a flower blossoming and coming up through the soil and opening up. And once it opens up, it's like the butterfly comes to connect. And there's just all of this like love and joy and peace. It's like seeing the light all over again. But you've got to get through that uncomfortableness. You have to remember who you are and shine your light and continue to just know that things are aligning. They're definitely aligning for you, and they're pointing out 38. So threes or eights may have been coming up for you, because in both of these cards it's number 38. That's interesting. Yeah, 38, which is 11, which breaks down to 2, and then in this card we have a 2. And so, yeah, so you are not meant to be alone in this lifetime. You may feel like you've been through a lot and you can't, you know, okay, so the energy they're giving me is like, I got to a point in my life where I felt like, you know, I was so heartbroken over losing people in my life and having to grieve them, that I just got to the point where I was like, it's easier to not get close to anybody, because if you get close to someone and it doesn't work out, then you're going to have to go through the heartbreak, and the heartbreak sucks and it hurts and it's uncomfortable and I don't like it. And if you don't go through heartbreak and you live with your partner and everything's great, well, then one day the partner is going to transition and there you go again, back through that heartbreak. And it was such a cynical energy for me to be in. And mind you, this was happening, you know, while I was a fully functional alcoholic. And it was just this energy of not wanting to open up my heart again, just being in this fear, being in this, you know, like, oh yeah, everything's beautiful over here, but it could also be this. It's this very just negative, not negative, thank you. Yeah, like cynical, pessimistic energy. It's like always being on alert, always having to protect yourself, not feeling safe, because yeah, there's just a lot of that coming through. And so fill into your body. That's why breathwork is going to be really good for you in the next 2 to 3 days after seeing this, because, and I highly suggest continuing to do it even after this, long after this reading. It's a practice that my husband and I will cycle through every now and then, but it's going to put you in your body and let you know that you are safe and you are protected, and it's okay to love and to open up and to experience joy and companionship in this lifetime. And yeah, surrender to complete healing. Open fully to the loving, compassionate forces of the universe that support your physical, emotional, and spiritual healing. Yeah, it's like, you know, she's like running out into the ocean, and maybe there's some fear of not knowing what's out there, or you know, like if you've ever swam out to an ocean and there's dark spaces and you don't know what's underneath you, and you know, you've probably seen stuff with the ocean, and it brings this fear, but there's this beautiful cleansing and blossoming that happens from it. And This can be life-changing for you. This can be life-changing for you. They're asking, your ancestors are asking you to surrender so that you do not self-sabotage and get back into this dry, pessimistic, black and white, closed up heart type of energy. All right, and then the last card here is, wow. You guys, I cannot make this up. Divine union, the balancing of yin and yang, the balancing of the masculine and feminine. So this is, and it's 17, it adds up to the number 8. It is the infinity, like the energy of everything coming into motion and really finally coming into fruition. So your ancestors are requesting that you surrender this week. I'm also hearing like somatic exercises would be good for you. So shaking, just bouncing up and down, bouncing your knees, from your knees, keeping your feet on the ground, just shaking and moving the energy off a lot through the shoulders. So shrugging your shoulders and then letting them drop kind of hard. Rolling your shoulders a lot. Movement will help so much. So if you dance or do any kind of like high intensity interval training, or even just going out for a run or a jog or a long walk, this will help you be in the energy of patience and surrendering to the divine timing. And you, my friend, have a union that is coming in. You have a partnership. This is very specific. There is companionship coming in for everyone who chose this pile, and for a select 2 of you, there is absolutely a union coming in. There is a soul integration, and your partner is, I just feel like, so in union and in soulmate energy, they are growing through the same thing you're growing through. So imagine like they're telling me like the magnets, like they can either attract or repel. And if you get in the energy of repelling, then your union is going to repel as well. And it's going to pull you guys farther apart. So please, for your own sake, your ancestors are asking you to surrender, to trust in divine timing, to process through some of this grief with breath work and somatic exercises, to move your body and let go, because it is time for you to come into complete healing and to really come into companionship and love on a whole nother level through this 1111 portal. Alrighty, that is all. Thank you so much, and I will hope to connect with you in another one of my readings. Thank you. Aloha, those of you who chose the South Pile. Woo! All right, so 2 readings in, and a lot of energy is moving through here, but this pile feels so good. Oh my goodness. It is like joyful and happy and dancy and movie, and I just want to like move my body. So yay, good energy coming through for y'all. They want me to put this to the side for now, so let's go ahead and put that to the side, and we're just gonna go ahead and jump right in. So the first card that's coming through is Healing Family Lines. Wow. So they're just showing like there is, and this is why there's so much happy energy in here right now. There are, wow. Okay, so this pile is, there are so many of your ancestors here with me right now, and they are in celebration. Like you have completed, you've, what is this exactly? Can you guys tell me what this is? It's it's just like a leveling up. You are leveling up through this, and with you leveling up, your entire ancestry is leveling up. Those who are still on earth and those who have transcended to different spaces and places. I'm even hearing, and this is why it feels so good, that any earthbound spirits that, or any family members that remained earthbound through your ancestry, they are all rising right now. That's why it's such a party, it's such a celebration. It's like a reuniting of ancestry right now. Like, I feel the earthbound spirits rising up, and there's family there to greet them, and there's just this, wow, it's just a celebration. So kudos to you. Definitely look back on your journey, because you have shifted so much in your lineage, and it has not been quick. It has been a long time coming. Many years, I'm hearing, for you to process through this ancestry, and finally things are shifting and opening up. There's this like beautiful support. They're pointing out all these feathers, like, so you may have been seeing feathers lately. They may have been like just dropping down in front of you, or even just like popping up, like if you're scrolling social media and you just see feathers. But feathers has been a message from your ancestors that they are rising, they are moving into a whole higher state of being. So wow. So I'm in this I'm at a loss for words, because there's so much going on in here right now. There's like, it just is this joy of they're giving me these images so I can try to put it into words for you, but you've got to be able to feel it through my energy, because it's so joyful and happy, and it's like just like the big celebration. Like, you won, you are leveling up. So let's see what else wants to come through for this pile. Creation. Yeah, creation. Everything is like, you see this is like the heart. It's in the shape of a heart, and it's showing it's like it's coming up out of its roots. So it's still I'm getting so many chills. It's rising, and it's like it's everything on earth is rising. Like, you are mastering ascension right now. So wow to this pile. Like, you guys are doing an awesome job. And they pointed out the number 43, so there is some good luck and prosperity that's coming in for you. Even they're showing me like how golden it is up here. There's just this energy in there. It's just regeneration. Like, you are being fully regenerated and leveling up to your next life cycle. So let's see what else there is. Let it go. And the energy that they're giving me, they're saying don't focus so much on the words. You are moving forward, but it's, if you've ever been able to visit a waterfall and actually get underneath the waterfall and just let the water flow down and wash over you, it is the most incredible feeling. It is cleansing, and just like, I can't even, it's such an experience. If you haven't done it, do it in this lifetime. Like, make it something that is on your to-do list, because it is the most amazing feeling. And those of you who have done it, you know what it feels like. It feels so good to just have that water come down and wash everything away. And that's what's happening right now. It's like all of the density is clearing through your lineage. And especially, like, there were a good amount of earthbound spirits in your lineage, that a good amount of family members, passed on loved ones, that stayed earthbound. And I'm getting like This is like reminding me of when my husband and I went to Sedona this year, and we went to the mountainside and we were connecting with our ancestors, and there were a lot of our ancestors there, and we helped rise them up into a higher vibration. And in that process, I asked them, what's the reason you're still here? You don't need to be here anymore. What's the reason you're here? And they said we had to stay so that we could protect the land. And so now, because we are coming together and protecting the land, and we are caring for Mama Earth, those earthbound spirits are able to rise into higher dimensions and to help us from a much higher perspective. So you're letting so much of this past wash away. It's like everything is being forgiven, and you're softening into this really peaceful, it just feels like a mother's energy, like a very calm, peaceful, loving, nurturing, just a really sweet type of energy. So let's see what else. Yeah, Earth Home. So it's just, this is what I was feeling. Like, you see how she has this smile on her face, and there's like this, okay, so they're pointing out like this abundance, like the fruit, like she's very fruitful. There's all of this consciousness that's being birthed on a higher level through her, and this is you. Like, you have birthed your lineage into a much higher consciousness. You're gonna see like shifts with this that are gonna be surprising to you. Like, even if I feel like some of you are no contact with some family members, but you may hear about them actually shifting and just changing their lives, because it's such a powerful shift for your lineage right now. Okay, they said go ahead and move this. So listen to your intuition. You're questioning. There's something that you've been questioning, and your intuition has been on point, and you're learning how to trust more, and you're learning how to I feel like there's this new level of trust that's coming through with this, and this is going to open you up to more gifts. So listen to your intuition moving forward and trust in it, and you're going to be more decisive in your thoughts, and you're going to have better discernment. So these are the gifts that are coming through. You're going to be more decisive. You're going to have discernment, and you're going to be able to read people, like really read people, and you're going to be able to feel when people are growing through things, and you're going to be able to have compassion for them. And so you're leveling up. This is a huge level up for not just you, but your entire ancestry. Let's see what else. Yeah, peace. Yeah, it's going to bring you so much peace. Like this, just the energy is like not having to worry anymore. It's like when somebody goes from survival to, like the analogy they're giving me is like going from a place where like you had to scrape to make ends meet, and now you actually have a better income, and things are just flowing, and you're able to do some of the things that you weren't able to do before, or save some money or whatever it is. But it's just a very like peaceful, calm. The waters are very chill, and there's no, like, you've been riding the waves and there's no waves. It's like everything's just going to be chill for a while. So gratitude for that. And you're going to be connecting with your cosmic family. Yes. So this cycle, this completion for your ancestry has opened you up so much that you are going to start connecting with your soul family on a whole different level. So Look up, look up, look into the night sky, pay attention, because there are going to be some very, very high vibrational energies that are coming through. You may already be hearing like ringing in your ears, or like I'm hearing like breaks in technology, like maybe you're like the technology is cutting out. It's because the vibration is so high. So these new galactic, not new, they're telling me, thank you, these galactic gifts are going to come online for you. So maybe tapping into light language, or and light language isn't just speaking or toning. It can be done through artwork. It can be done through any kind of creative endeavor. You can channel light language and energy. So perhaps you're a channel and you're going to open up more, but there is a big, big shift for you here. Yeah. Surrender to your intuition. So know that what you're feeling, what you're hearing, what you're seeing, like your senses are going to be super heightened. So you may hear things, you may hear you may have premonitions. Thank you. There may be things that are coming through where you're just starting to open up and hear more of like your ancestors speaking to you, or even through you. For some of you, I'm hearing being able to channel for more people. If you are a channel, it's like your channel is stepping up to that next level. And if you didn't know you were a channel, you are a channel. So it's opening up and shifting through that. Let's see what the last one. Yeah, Soul Star. So it's the Soul Star chakra is above your crown, and it's what connects. It can help you connect to higher dimensional frequencies and galactic families and spaces. So yeah, this is a whole up leveling for you. So very exciting celebration for your ancestors. You're gonna feel through this like a weight has been lifted off of your shoulders, and that everything that there's gonna be this sense of gratitude that everything that you've done is for the reason of what's to come. And it's this beautiful, abundant, prosperous, happy, healthy, joyous, blissful energy. So wow. Yeah, give your ancestors I guess, like, I don't know, I'm torn for words again, sorry. My apologies, cancel clear. Yeah, your ancestors are in celebration, so celebrate with them. Like, maybe do something for yourself, and be spontaneous and have fun, and open up and allow yourself to play and bring more joy and bliss and positivity into your life. All right, thank you. Aloha to those of you who chose the West pile. This is the final reading for the day, and it fills. There's some light language that wants to come through already. I'm going to go ahead and let it come through. Okay, there's a weaving, a creation that's happening. Something brand new that is coming to you, new opportunities. It feels good, but almost the energy that I'm getting from from you. Okay, so this is your ancestors that are bringing this through. The energy that you have is like, whoa, is this really happening? Like, this is too good to be true. There's something's gonna happen, right? Or this is, and your ancestors are here to tell you to get out of that energy. You don't need to be in that energy. There is something that's linking you to your past that you've been asking. Like, you may have had a question about something that, and this isn't for everybody. Thank you for being more specific. This isn't for everybody. So if this is not for you, please just lovingly leave it for those who it does resonate with. But for those of you who this does resonate with, this is an energy of something that's been coming up from your past. Like, you've been cycling back around, and you are in a space right now where you need to make a decision. And the answer to your decision from your ancestors is no. No. Whatever you've been cycling through, I'm getting, this is like energy of like, almost like an ex-lover type energy. Like, should I go back to that person, or should I give them another chance? Like, they told me they changed, and maybe I need to, soften and like allow people to come. Like, no, your ancestors are saying no. That's not what you're supposed to be doing right now. And it doesn't have to be like an ex thing, but definitely that energy was coming through. It could also be like learning how to say no to, like, you almost like, the energy they're giving me is like people pleaser energy. Like, I'm feeling a lot of energy and pain in my upper shoulders and neck area. And it's like, when people like constantly like, the image they're giving me is like holding a really heavy book, and people just keep coming and adding more books, and they're like, oh, you're returning those, will you return this one too, and will you return this one too? And then you have like this huge pile of books, and it's so heavy and it's weighing you down. A funny analogy, but that's the energy that they're giving me. And so for you, your ancestors are saying to learn how to say no. Nope. Yep, I'm doing this for me, and you can do that for you. Really separating yourself and learning some boundaries. So whatever that means for you, I hope you got something out of that. Let's go ahead and flip through these cards and see what came up. All right, so sisterhood. I feel like this is a breaking of a cycle. Yeah, it's initiating a new energy with the women in your life. So I do feel like this reading is the energy in this reading is more of a feminine energy. If you are not feminine and you chose this pile, you may, so if you're a man that chose this pile, you may, the message that's coming through is for you to soften into your feminine energy and let yourself relax and be in that like nurturing, loving space. But for the majority of you, this is new friendships coming in, new, like a whole new sisterhood, creating or developing something that is going to bring more women together, and a bond and a connection that cannot be broken, and really helping, like, I see this energy of like helping with the next layer of consciousness, helping more and more women open up to the next layer of consciousness. So interesting first card. Let's see what else we got here. The cat. Yeah, intuition. So again, with the feminine energy, the feline, very feminine energy, and just tapping into creating more nurturing, loving, open, flowy type energy in your life. That's what this 1111 portal is bringing in for you. should you decide, and they're saying, should you decide to receive it? So receiving is a very feminine energy. So again, if you're, if you are a male, or if you are a female that's more on the masculine side, they're asking you to really soften into that feminine, flowy type energy. Let's see what else we got here. A planetary wave. Okay, so the energy that I'm getting with this card is connecting with your highest self. Thank you for being more specific. Connecting with your highest feminine self. Connecting with your highest feminine self. That's where the answers are. So if you've been growing, whatever cycle, we're always, as humans, we're here to learn. So we constantly grow through these cycles. And whatever cycle you've been growing through, tapping into your highest feminine energy is what's going to help you move through this and call in more of that feminine energy, or that sisterhood, or opening up to having more women in your life in general. Yeah, and in doing so, it takes a lot of courage to be able to get into this space. So it may feel like the energy that they're giving me with this card is that it may feel almost like you're unbalanced. Like, I'm assuming this is a globe. But she's like walking on this globe on the water. And if it's a globe or a sphere, then it's moving with her. So it's this, she has her arms out and she's trying to balance here. And it's this like balancing type of energy. And so really balancing out your masculine, feminine, and having the courage and the strength to soften into the feminine, because the feminine energy is very powerful. However, it has been suppressed for so many generations. Oh yeah, and this is the lineage. Thank you. I was wondering where the ancestry was going to come in. Feminine energy has been suppressed in your family. So you may have a hard time crying. You may have a hard time receiving help from people. You probably are the type of person that doesn't like to ask for help, that will try to do everything on your own. If people offer help, you feel like you have to give them something in return. There's this just not being able to fully soften into the feminine energy. So in this lineage, how is this cycle being cleared? Where it's okay, you're working on it. You're currently working through this ancestry. It's not going to be cleared through this 1111 portal. There is some things that still have to come into alignment for you. So not to expect a clearing through this 1111 portal. However, it is going to help you start to soften more into the feminine and to soften. They're telling me soften into feminine power. Know that when you allow yourself to be vulnerable and to open up and to cry and release your fears and your tears, that it's actually really powerful to be in that vulnerable space. And what it does is it allows other people to open up and be in that space as well. It's like you're leading in this energy. And yeah, there's this again with the balancing. They're telling me like don't pay attention to the words, but there's this balance that's happening. And 3. So is there another 3 on here? They're telling me it's a 3. Okay, there's something to do with 3. So you may be seeing 3s. The only other number I'm seeing on here is 9. With the 2 and the 7 here. I don't see any other number. Oh, 37 here. So 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, the 3. They're saying the 3 though. The 3 is important on this one. So, okay, in the moon cycles, they're telling Allow yourself to process through the highs and the lows. This is a balancing, in healing lineage, it really is a balancing act. It's learning to grow through the shadow, to go into the depths of what our ancestors weren't able to fill through, and to fill through those things for them to be able to release it and shift out of that energy. So you come from um, a lineage where people had a hard time. Can I get what side it's on, Spirit, so that I can open that up for them? I'm feeling like they're having me like move, like roll my shoulders and move through my shoulders. So if you're listening, I would do the same thing. It's like roll out your shoulders and start to move some of that energy. This feels like suppression. Like, those of you who chose this pile, your lineage has been through a lot of suppression. So, perhaps you come from like a long line of like truth guardians, like people who, actively spoke the truth, like we're activists, we're involved, we're trying to set things right. And because of that, you've been like suppressed and shot down, and like your voice has been taken from you. And so it's this softening now that needs to happen for that to open up and clear through the lineage. Okay, and find attunement. Yeah, so 3. Okay, so now I see there may be more 3s. There's can I get the message for 3? What's the message that's coming through for 3? It's balance. It's balance. You may have heard, and you may have heard, like, everything happens in 3s, right? 3 is the energy of balance. So it's this balancing energy of being able to be like, you definitely come from a line of like truth seekers, truth guardians, like people speaking up and trying to do right for others and for self, and being suppressed or shunned, or possibly like you have a witch wound. You've had lifetimes where you tried to do what you felt was right in your heart intuitively, and you were correct. So you may have a hard time trusting yourself in this lifetime because of all of the suppression that happened in the lineage and in the past lives. And this is deep. I'm feeling like this is really deep. This is generational. Like, can I go back? So 13, absolutely 13, or no more, no less? Yeah, no more, no less. So 13 generations is how far back this lineage goes. So not to discourage you, but 13 generations is going to take some time to process through, to really shift through. So just allow yourself to continue to soften and open up, and get some movement like in your heart space. Like forward bends are really great. Something that's going to open up through your shoulders and your heart, and like your upper spine between your deltoids. That's really where the shift needs to happen. That's where a lot of the energy is coming through. So you probably have experienced maybe some back problems, or just trouble like stretching, or maybe I feel like the feeling I'm getting is like you stretch and then you have like this like instant pain that comes, like a sharp shooting pain. I don't know. That's the energy that they're giving me. It's like it wants to be cleared. Like your ancestors, they have faith in you. They're by your side. They will be there when you call upon them. You are a highly intuitive person, so you're already tapped in. You just have to surrender and allow allow yourself to get into the flow of the feminine energy. Yeah, surrender to spirit. So once you've done everything you can to achieve a goal, turn the situation over to the divine. Let spirit work its magic for you. Yeah, so there's balancing is not an easy energy. I'll tell you, I went back 10 generations on my father's side, and it wasn't an overnight thing. It was something that I had to give myself time to process through. And when I felt like I couldn't process anymore, I had to surrender and I had to let go, and I had to tell my ancestors, like, I'm here, I'm doing everything I can at the level that I'm at, and when I'm able to get back into it and start shifting things again, I will. So have some grace with yourself, like give yourself some mother love, maybe reparent your inner child. Would be good. Spend some time with your inner child. Have a conversation with your inner child. Tell them how much you love them, and tell them all the things that maybe you didn't hear, or maybe you didn't hear enough of when you were a child. From a mother type energy, like you really want to just nurture that inner child. That's what will help you expand and open up your heart space and get into this balancing energy. Yeah, there is it's like this is like a phoenix, like rebirthing energy that's happening, but they're telling me more, no, it's more like a regeneration. So like the image they're giving me is like not resoiling a plant. Now mind you, I'm not a plant person. I'm not the greatest plant person is what I should say. I do have plants and I do love them and take care of them. But I'm not it's not my area of expertise, I guess is what I should say. So what the image they're giving me is just shaking up the soil. That's what's happening right now. Like it's not a completely like take and replant it in a new plant. It's like digging up and shaking up the soil. The image they just gave me is like a gopher coming up and bringing all of that soil to the surface, and it's just like coming up and out. So yeah, there's probably some shadow that's moving through you right now, and it may feel like you're purging one week and then the next week feels great, or you're purging one day and then the next day you feel great. And so keep allowing yourself to just purge this energy. And it's can I get confirmation on what type of energy is coming through? It's frustration. Oof, I just got so frustrated. That's wild. It is like frustration and irritability and like just like not having any patience with people. It's just like the energy is like so frustrating that's coming up. So be mindful of that, because it may be that people are triggering you and frustrating you and you're feeling like it's them, especially if like you have to go into a workspace and work with other people or be around other people, or even family members that you're around often, and you just feel like, they're just getting on my nerves. Like, why do they have to be this way? Have some compassion and remember this reading, because they're saying that is part of the purging. That's what's coming up through your ancestry. All of this frustration, and it's not even anger. It's like your ancestors had compassion for the people who were doing them wrong, who were suppressing them. Like they still were able to look at them from a higher perspective and go like, oh, you just don't know. Like you just don't. You're at a low level of consciousness, and because of that, you feel like this is what needs to happen. It keeps coming back to witch wound. So whoever pulled this pile may have a witch wound that you don't know of, or maybe you do and it just hasn't been fully processed through yet. And it's like the witches, they talk about like the herbalists and the medicinal women and men that were working with the nature's laws and helping people heal naturally so that they don't have to get addicted to pharmaceuticals or anything else. These are the people who actually were trying to help people. And then there was like this big suppression that came in, like told them that they were, wrong or evil, or they had something, like they just like were suppressed through it. And the entire time that they were being suppressed, it's like they still were just looking out at the people going like, oh, you're just in so much fear. I see it in you. Like you've been indoctrinated and you believe, like this white lab coat person, because they're, they have a doctorate or whatever, a degree. And maybe I don't have that degree, but I've been working with herbs my whole life and I know how to heal you. And it's just this frustration, but there's also like this level of compassion that I'm feeling, that's like, that's why there's no anger. Like I'm not feeling any anger that's coming up to be purged. It just feels like very irritable and frustrated and like easily triggered, like that type of energy. Like, ugh, like, yeah. It's not fun. I'll tell you that. Like, it does not feel good. And a lot of it is in your neck. Like, whew, man, my neck just got like really tight. So, allow it to purge, allow it to come out of you. And if you need ways to get it out, look into some somatic exercises. Actually, they're telling me that Tai Chi would be a really good way for you to move the energy. I'm not very familiar with Tai Chi, but I know that you can find stuff online, like for free on YouTube. So maybe look into Tai Chi. I don't know the difference between Tai Chi and Qigong, but I myself have done Qigong, and I know that it really moves energy, and it moves, it really gets my lymph flowing. And so it makes sense. So the neck area is where like the lymph drains through. So maybe doing some like lymphatic drainage would be really good for you. And really just like you can do that with dry brushing. You can look up dry brushing online, and just movement and starting to get things flowing and then opening up and expanding. I am going to do a little clearing for you right now because your ancestors asked me to. They want me to just release some of the buildup right now. So if you are open and want to receive, go ahead and just close down your eyes and just take a few slow, deep breaths in and out through the nose. All right. If you were open to that, go ahead and shake your body off. Shake your head left to right, up and down. Shake your shoulders, wiggle out through the hips. Just release all that was ready to let go of. And we'll just ask that wherever you're at, that Saint Germain come in with the violet flame and raise all of that energy that was brushed off or shifted into a higher vibration, so that you can be free of it. And we're just going to do, they want just a little aura cleanse as well. So just finishing up with some light language for the aura cleanse. If you can please put your hands on your heart. They're asking that you connect with your heart space And I'm just going to continue to channel a little bit longer. Yeah. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Fill all the way up to the top. Hold. And then sip just a little bit more. And then you're going to open mouth, exhale, let it all go. And one more time, you're going to breathe in through the nose. This time it's going to be like a lion's breath. You're going to breathe out like you're roaring, like you really want it to come out. So if you're at home, let that roar out. And if it feels good and you want to do it again, that will definitely help you with the purge and letting some of this go. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. If this resonated for you, please like, subscribe. If you feel like anyone else could benefit from this, also share it with them as well. And I'll look forward to connecting with you all in another reading. All right. Adios. Happy